All right, we're back. Another edition of Your Friend and Mine, the $3 best ball tournament on DraftKings. I don't know if I'm allowed to say even the name of this site on YouTube. I'm sorry if not. I don't want to get flagged for whatever. Did my first attempt yesterday, did not go well. Was drafting out of the 112. Fired up the stream, not even the stream, just recording these in isolation and have once again found ourselves with the 112. So we'll try to do better this time. Yesterday we got a Puka McCaffrey start, so I'll try to mix that up. And also this time around, I'm going to try to remember if I do wind up with George Pickens that I should not be deceived by. I didn't think he was on Pittsburgh when I drafted him, but then as I was frantically scrolling, did lose sight of the fact that I had a Cowboy, and that confused me greatly. One thing I should flag up because it's going to be a little while before we actually get to make a pick here. First of all, I'm going to try to do less frantic scrolling around this time. That was one of the insights I gleaned. I'm going to try to speak up. I'm hopefully going to be able to figure out how to record in higher definition. 720p, not terrible, like it's passable, but definitely want to bump that up to 1080. And I do hope to spend more time on the actual draft board because I'm guessing from a viewer perspective, that would be better this time. Oh, and from specifically the 112, I do wonder if I should move my camera down so we can see my overall ratio. And then the only other thing to note going in is my correlation sheet that I'm using. I think I can click over to it here. I can. This is from a great Twitter follow, in my view, at JohnBoyBeats, Jon, as in it's spelled JonBoybeats, rather than John. Much superior correlation spreadsheet that I'm now going to move over to the side so I can see both of these at the same time. Oh, and the picks are flying. Jamar Chase, as usual, goes 101. I think I still have yet to see anything other than that. And then, wow, Saquon all the way down to the 105. I mean, it's going to be hard to pass on Puka if he falls to me again, but I would like to mix it up. I just found a Puka team yet last night. The only other, I guess I should flag up, it's about 100 degrees here right now. I took a shower, but I am probably going to be leading the league in sweatiest best ball drafter for quite some time. And I take a great amount of pride in that. So I really want to establish it ASAP. Let's see how we're looking. I mean, it's not like Neighbors is actually going to fall, but that would be pretty cool. That's a pretty straightforward to this point. You can certainly, your mileage may vary on any of these 2 through 12 picks. My mileage certainly will. There goes Puka. So we're not going to start with Puka again. Is this the time that we finally get the big dog? Where are we on? Okay. Oh, it's us. Okay. And one of these days, I don't have any Derrick Henry yet. I don't, man, I have a lot of Nico Collins, but I want more. I'm going to go big dog and Nico, and we'll see what happens. There goes Derrick Henry, and there goes Nico. So hopefully this time around also will be easier in terms of, and we'll go back to the draft board, sorry. Will be easier for me in terms of not doing what I did yesterday, which is failing to realize, as it is one of my first times using the DraftKings actual desktop lobby. I'm a basically 100% phone drafter leading up to this. When you put people in the queue, oh, it's lagging a little bit, sorry. When you put people in the queue, it'll say remove up here, but when it's your pick, it will turn it to draft. And yesterday I found out the hard way as I was trying to remove Andre Yoshivas from my queue. I didn't even notice that I had drafted him because it was my turn. Okay, I think pretty straightforward to this point. And now I'm trying to do less frantically scrolling around between picks. But let's do take a look at 36 and 37 are going to be our next picks. My default is going to be going wide receiver, but there's always room for that to change. Like, for instance, last night I had McCaffrey on the 1-2 turn, and I still got Chase Brown when he fell to me. Didn't love how that team ended up looking, but I have yet to love how any of my teams have ended up looking. So around 36, 37, I mean, Rashee Rice is always going to be a target of mine in this range. I have revitalized the Rashee Rice hypothesis for 2025, which in 2024 was I'm betting on Rashee Rice not being suspended this year. And he was drafted like he was going to be suspended. And he wasn't suspended, but the problem was he got a season ending injury in week 2. But process wise, I was pretty happy with that. And then let's see, we do have I don't think Joe Mixon would be crazy, but I would probably like to go wide receiver, or maybe Jaden Daniels falls. We'll see what we end up looking at. But for now, let's do less frantic scrolling. Let's see how the draft unfolds. I do have my iced coffee with me now because last time it was super late at night, but normally you will probably see me with this. And even sometimes super late at night, you'll see me with the iced coffee, especially if you are at the casino with me. I think Marvin Harrison's an interesting pick, and I bring it up. Whoa, Rashee Rice went at the one. It sounds like that guy is also in on the Rashee Rice hypothesis, but I think you can probably find better value for him if you're doing a lot of drafts. A lot of wide receivers going off the board. Don't love that. Pickings might be slim. Like I was hoping maybe a JSN would fall. I've had it in my mind. Maybe Marvin Harrison or Rashee Rice would be there. But not the case. Quarterback, though. Josh Allen gone already. There goes Lamar. If Jaden Daniels is there, let's take a look at our correlation. Okay, we have Derrick Henry and we have Nico Collins. So I certainly know the Texans are playing the Chargers. I'm going to have an unhealthy amount of those players. So by the time this best ball season is over, would be my guess. And oh, you know what? I'm gonna move my camera back again. I think it now that I have a couple picks in here, it does make more sense. I'll try to first of all, I'll try to speak up. That's a lesson I learned. I know I already said that once and have been failing, but I'll try to be mindful of what it actually looks like on the viewer side. And then we're up again we got 3 more picks, and then we got back-to-backs. So we got Houston and the Chargers. And then Baltimore is playing Green Bay. And to be honest, I don't love a lot of the Green Bay players at cost right now. So I might ease off that. Let's see. Well, if any of these wide receivers fall, whoops. And then Jaden Daniels is probably going to be where I go next. And Chase Brown does go. Okay, so we're going to get 2 of these 3, I think. Is it as simple as just Garrett Wilson and Jaden? I don't mind Garrett Wilson at all. I don't have any Jaden Daniels yet that I don't think I do at least. So I think let's do this. I see Joe Mixon would make sense with some Houston correlation. I know Garrett Wilson's going to be one of them. Let's just use the time that we have. Why not try to run a Jaden Daniels team from the 3-4 turn, drafting out of the 112 while we're still in the process of familiarizing ourselves with the board? None of these teams are going to be good anyway. So let's see what it looks like. And now with that, we have some added correlation of the Patriots are playing the Jets and Washington football team is playing the Cowboys. And the Cowboys, I do have a lot of guys I like at cost. So for instance, if I could get another Pickens share here the next time around the board and then remember that he's on the Cowboys, in my only other video I had the dream spot to go double tap on Dak and Jake Ferguson at one point and just completely talked myself out of it because I overlooked that I had the Dallas correlation. But in any event, we will let's see what 60 and 61 are looking like for targets, and then we'll go back to the board. I always got to star RJ Harvey, even though it has never worked once this season. Yesterday, I ended up inadvertently timing out and getting DK Metcalf. I guess Zay Flowers would make some sense with some Baltimore correlation. Seattle, I don't really love their playoff schedule, but Ken Walker is a good player in my view. Let's do indeed star George Pickens. Oh, they switched it to Dallas. Where was this 12 hours ago? They switched him to Dallas finally. And then beyond that, I mean, I guess obviously Debo is a name I could talk myself into, given the Jaden Daniels correlation. Let's go back to the board, and then we'll piece this together once it's closer to our turn. Who's doing interesting stuff here? Anyone doing anything fun yet? Nothing jumping off the page to me. Man, am I going to have a boatload of Jalen Hurts by the time this season is over. It's wild to me to watch him go so far behind Josh, Lamar, Jaden. Let's consider, I mean, they're all so good and getting such a discount on the guy who does the tush push with ludicrous efficiency. There goes Zay Flowers, so we can throw that into the garbage. But that's okay. I mean, I don't love forcing it. And there's always Rashad Bateman. Don't worry. There goes JMO, who I had been considering, just given the Washington correlation. I was listening to a little Market Monday this morning. And they were talking, or Levitan was talking, about JMO being pretty compelling. I think George Pickens is where I hope to see this go. And then, I mean, reluctantly, I would take Debo. I don't hate Calvin Ridley. Kamara's there. Am I taking him? Like, maybe. I don't have a ton of confidence in him playing the full season, but that's not the most compelling reason to pass on a huge ADP value. Pickens would make me really happy at this point. Debo, Ridley, I would certainly live with. Do I want to go? I don't think I want. I really don't. I can't trust Sam Laporta at this price yet. Someone's going to have to talk me into it. And I do think I want to go wide receiver heavy here if possible. So I will star Debo, who just went that I was. Oh, Calvin Ridley, I think, just went. Oh, I'm going to be surprised, frankly, at this point if Pickens makes it to me. He does not. So what to do? Maybe a little Browns double tap. I don't think that would be crazy. Quinshawn Judkins, is that his name? Quinshawn? Quinshawn Judkins? Jerry Judy? I think that could work. Oh, it's me. I gotta stop. That can't be my. I can't keep doing that. But I mean, we'll take a Debo share in a spot that I think makes a lot of sense. And then I should have used that extra time to think about this more thoroughly. But let's go. I'm going to star Jerry Judy just as the default. And then I'm going to look quickly at the Miami schedule and see if there's a Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Chicago. Well, we got Jerry Judy. Don't love it, but I do like going wide receiver there. Just compared to I already I think had three running backs at this point last night, and I'm kind of overcorrecting. Yeah, Last night I took Caleb Johnson, and I was pretty happy about that because I'd already been autoed DK Metcalf by that point. It was a bit of a disaster. Okay, I don't mind how this is looking so far. Could use some more correlation, but there's plenty of time. And at least now I'm not going to get smoked on wide receiver. I don't think there's much like QB correlation to be had for Cleveland for me just yet. I don't think I'm going to be drafting Shador or Flacco or any of the other fine gentlemen in that QB room. What's the guy's name? Dylan Gabriel? Is that who Dylan Gabriel is? And let's see. Laporta does fall quite a ways. I still am going to take some talking into to be having much of him. Just I think he's a good player. I just was a little nervous about the usage last year. But I mean, could don't get me wrong, could easily be a just mega smash if they start getting him more usage, more actual. He's on the field, but if they start throwing to him more, I do have with me some peanut butter pretzels. Probably this isn't the can't be eating first of all anything while you're doing solo narration, but peanut butter pretzels. What was I thinking? I got this bowl of peanut butter pretzels. Idiot. But live and learn. Okay, so we got 84 and 85, and we can start, I think, now taking some detours. What are those detours going to be looking like? I would certainly, if Olave's there, I would not detour. I would take another wide receiver. Brian Robinson. Whoops, not DeAndre Swift. Brian Robinson is a big time target for me here with the Jaden correlation and just more generally, I think, a very fine value. Tony Pollard I could be talked into. How many away are we? Let's scroll up a little bit. I'm trying to do less frantic scrolling. You can see, I think, up here, we're coming up. We got 5 picks before us. I'll be very happy if Pollard's there. Or excuse me, if Olave's there. I'll be marginally happy if Pollard's there. And I did do a nice, not really nice, but I'm gonna have so many backdoor New England stacks. It's sickening this year. So maybe with that, I could be a little proactive with Diggs if it comes down to it. I don't know that taking Baker with this team makes a ton of sense, although I do buy that he is a worthwhile play in this neighborhood. Bo Nix, I'm a bit nervous, is going a bit high for me, as much I also believe in him. Let's see who we're looking at. Brian Robinson's going to be one of them if he's there. And then, okay, it is me, and I'm aware of it this time. Man, I am going to get addicted to these backdoor Patriots stacks. But is now the time to get addicted to something else? I know Robinson and B Rob is going to be one of them. I'll let that time out. I'll tentatively have Diggs second in my queue. Let's see who. No one's really jumping off the page to me. Maybe I do take Baker and then stop there, or not stop there, go, but stop there for a while at quarterback. I think I'm going to open the door for a more attractive backdoor Patriots stack, and Diggs makes me a bit nervous, but he is, I mean, at his best, super pure. Question is, how much is left? But it's best ball. Let's do it. And this is honestly the first time that I've made it through how whatever it's been 8 picks, 9 picks, 8 picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, of course it's an even number. We're drafting two at a time on the corner. This is the first time I've made it through all 8 picks feeling reasonable about how we're looking. And I think the Brian Jr. hypothesis has got to be that I'm okay on running back and obviously that Derrick Henry stays healthy and is Derrick Henry. Like you got to draft like you're right. I know this is breaking news. The insight only available here at the sweatiest best ball for no one YouTube stream in all the land. But so far, actually, this is the happiest I've been through 8 rounds. But the point I was getting at is I'm very comfortable waiting a while on quarterback 2 and 3, and very comfortable waiting a while on running back, especially in late May when I think there are going to be plenty of kind of diamonds in the rough that we just don't really know about yet. And maybe I'll get lucky and spike one that a couple months from now turns out to be the front runner to lead a backfield or whatever. Let's go back to the draft board. Okay. Who's doing fun stuff? Is anyone doing anything fun? No one. Oh, we do have a 2 QB, but this is not the craziest time to be getting 2 QB. And I believe Stochastic is the, give me a break, the guy who looks like Alex Caruso. I've, this is I feel like I'm on Jeopardy and like I know the answer 100 times out of 100 in 1 second. Awesomeo. I think that's him. Like, not him specifically, but his, like, training site info. I don't know what to call it. But point is, I think that is a ball knowing avatar, unlike mine, which is like the Twitter egg version. I guess you can't see it, but I'll quickly, yeah. I don't even know how to change it. I'm a fish. Well, we're getting close to being back on the clock. So far, a pretty reasonable draft run out from what I can tell at quickly glancing. And that makes me feel like I'm probably the fish here, which is not the first time I've felt that way. Maybe Fields' fault. Maybe Fields could be a compelling second quarterback with Garrett Wilson. I don't think that would be crazy. Who else might we be looking at? I could certainly both of these rookie tight ends, Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland. Is it Tyler Warren? Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland. I could find myself in on maybe a little Mark Andrews. I'd rather get Isaiah Likely at his price. Certainly don't need much convincing to find my way into a CJ Stroud team. That said, Goff has fallen. It's on me, I know. I really, I think gonna do Justin Fields just because I'm not gonna have any shortage of CJ Stroud. Don't worry about that. And then I think I will go for I thought I saw some Indy correlation, but I guess not. I'm really phoning it in on the correlation at this point, but I will tentatively tag Tyler Warren. Let's see if Cleveland. Oh, well, you know what? Let's. Oh, don't fail on me now. Okay, we'll get that Cleveland correlation with. I've been wanting to get some David Njoku. We'll do that. Even again, despite not feeling like the quarterback is going to be a part of this team, I think that's going to be the case for a lot of people. And so let's look at the Cleveland. We got Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Chicago. Do I have any of that? I don't think so. But the New England Patriots do have the Jets in week 17 and also the Ravens with Derrick Henry here in week 16. So I'm definitely going to be on the prowl for. Oh, is he already gone? He's already gone. I'm a fool. I was hoping Drake May would fall. Let's scroll down. What? I don't see him. Did I just miss him on the board? I did. Okay, thankfully. I just missed Drake May there. What other QBs might I be looking at? Goff's still up there at pick 20 plus picks after ADP. Any other QB core. I mean, I do already have two quarterbacks with pass catchers, so I think Drake May would make me happy if he's still around. Let's see how far. Oh, we got a ways to go before we're looking at Drake May. I guess I will start starring some of these guys. Green Bay, I have the opposite side of Green Bay plays Baltimore. Maybe I could backdoor stack some Packers, but failing that, how about Jaden Blue? I'm certainly open to it. How about Isaiah Likely? I'd be open to. I think these make a lot of sense. Marvin Mims. Shout out Marvin Mims. I thought my teams in the semifinals last year were just cooked in like the third quarter of those 1 o'clock games. And it was like, well, if Marvin Mims and Brian Thomas Jr. both get a combined 40 point, I had a boatload of each of them on my semis teams, and they've just went nuclear. And I got a couple teams through to the finals and not any high stakes things, but certainly got a fondness for Marvin Mims, unlike it seems Sean Payton, who hates him, as best I can tell. Okay. Not exactly. Sorry to be scrolling like a maniac. We're getting close-ish. 132, 133. We are watching an, some number of our queued guys leave, but now let's start. Okay, so we got two QB, 2251. I do think it is worth at least three tight ends overall, but I can talk myself into waiting on that. It might be time to get some more wide receivers going before all the reasonable ones are off the board. Luther Burton in particular, Burden would be a fun addition. I don't really want Ramondre, even though I do have an attempt at some Patriots stacking going, but it looks like, unfortunately, yeah, Drake May went a while ago. That's a bummer. But I mean, hey, we feel fine enough about our two QBs to this point. Although, man, are these QBs flying? So it might already be time to start thinking about a third. So with that in mind, I mean, I've been trying to get some Michael Penix shares. Let's see who's there. I will be taking Luther Burden if he's around. Jack Bash, I'm interested in this kid. I'm interested. I'm tentatively interested. Rashid Shaheed couldn't hurt to throw in the queue. We got two more picks to fade on Luther Burden. I feel like I'm missing news on him because he fell pretty far in the draft I did last night. He's there. I'm gonna have a hard time talking myself out of him. Let's just take a closer look, and then yeah, with the Washington correlation, I think Jaden Blue makes a lot of sense. I only have two running backs to this point, so I think those are going to be the plays for me here. Luther Burton and Jadon Blue. Sometimes I just blew myself, you know? You know how it is. We'll go back to the board. All right, rocking a 2-3-6-1 to this point. Scroll down a little bit and see who's coming off. Oh, I guess you can't see. Sorry. Maybe the default should just be put myself down here. Sorry. So far, I mean, I think let me run through some of these. I don't see anything too crazy. Were there any big reaches early? Last night I had a guy in my draft that was very fun to track along the way. He went Lamar round one, as one does, from like the 106. No offense, I mean, that guy's surely going to win that pool with all the slander I've been passive aggressively sending his way. Thielen, like, what's it going to take for me to ever draft Adam Thielen? Even like seeing him be productive last year, I still just can't click that button, man. And even with a huge amount of respect for what he was capable of back in the day in Minnesota, or at least a marginal amount of respect, I respect it. Maybe a day will come where I find a Thielen share somewhere along the way. And I actually don't think it's totally crazy to wonder if the Panthers might generally be kind of undervalued. Just if Bryce continues playing more like the second half of last year after he got benched and then found his way back in the lineup because Andy Dalton like got in a car accident or something. He did come back and play well. Actually, not that this is fantasy relevant. I thought that discussion about like what the Panthers should do with Bryce Young when it seemed like they didn't want him to be the guy. Like, could they just trade him straight up for a high, for like some draft pick, not even a high one, but like I remember conversations about like, would you give a second rounder or a third young rounder for Bryce Young? And then he played his way back into, I think, remaining the guy until further notice. Rashad White is another one. I'm even knowing that he's going to be on the field and he is going to catch passes. Like I just can't do it. I can't. Pitts, I can do. Eckler, I can do around this range. It won't be this time because they're gone now. Let's see who's looking likely to be there. Sorry, I'm scrolling around too much. Um, maybe I talk myself into Zach Ertz just with the correlation, and like I'm never gonna have him in any other teams that I can think of. Let's see. Who else is around? Who's kicking around? Oh, you know what? I don't even know this dude, but he's Mason Taylor, son of former NFL Hall of Famer Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor was not a tight end, as I recall. Is that am I confusing him with the Miami guy? um, maybe. But Mason, if your name's Jason Taylor and you could name your kid Mason Taylor, that's a pretty strong move. I'll tell you what, I really don't love anyone as a great fit up here at the top of my team. So it may indeed be Mason Taylor o'clock. I drafted QJ last night. It felt gross, but that's just my own personal trauma. Is Anthony Richardson a crazy pick for a third QB? Let's see what other QBs are. I think I'd rather, if Shuck falls next time, go that route. How about it is me? I am aware that it's me, which is always a good start. I mean, for lack of any other awesome alternatives, I am a bit interested in Mason Taylor and might just click and completely sight unseen. And then what to do after that? I don't hate Pat Fryermuth. He's playing against Cleveland. I wish I had seen that prior to clicking the Mason Taylor button. Anyone else jumping off the page? Braylon Allen is jumping off the page to some extent. But mm, I think I'm about to time out and get Fryermuth and not be thrilled about it. And that's exactly what happened. So I got to be more on the ball there in that sort of spot. But now I am confident that I'm done at tight end. Maybe I'll find some fourth gross tight end, but I'm at least happy with the three that I have. And now, I mean, I really do feel like this time of year, I'm okay with a lot of the wide receivers and running backs that are going in these later rounds. We'll follow the board for a little while. But I mean, so let's see what we're on. We got a lot of Jets. We got some Washington football team players. We got Cleveland and Pittsburgh. That's a great game to be heavy on. My God. Uh, Dallas and Washington, though, is where I'm going to have my eyes peeled. Really wish I could have gotten Jake Ferguson. And I would have reluctantly taken Zach Ertz had he been there. But I'm okay with this. You never know. Did not, I'll say this, did not plan on taking tight ends with three of my next five picks. But I think we at least have the skeleton going of, oh, and I guess I'm not scrolling far enough for you to see this in a lot of cases. Sorry. Seems like pretty reasonable picks being made. So let's go back to, it might be scroll the F down time. I'm definitely going to be starring Braylon Allen. I'll star Hunt, no, I'm good on tight end for now. Keenan Allen, I think, could be worth a dart. I haven't thrown any such darts yet. I think could be. I'm scrolling a little aggressively here. Sorry about that. Whoops. Still getting used to this whole layout. And again, I feel like there's no good place for the camera when it's drafting out of the 112 makes it so much harder because all my stuff is on the far right. I did not I literally said to myself anything but the 112, not because it's the worst first round pick, but I just did my only other video is from the 112 as well. I wanted a front or middle part of the board to see the options available to me there. But I would say historically, when I say to myself, okay, here's the thing I don't want, and let's reverse engineer around just don't have that happen, uh, does not always pan out. Okay. So it is getting close-ish to back to us. And now Dylan Sampson, I think is, yeah, I did not know a whole lot about this gentleman. I do know Quinshon Judkins is someone people feel good about, but this might be a time to be open to that prospect. Braylon Allen for sure is someone that I will be enthusiastically clicking if he's there. I guess I should open my mind to Cedric Tillman with the Browns going. Let's just have Braylon Allen fall. That would make me feel great. And then just have like Brees get traded somehow, which I hear whispers in the wind about some uncertainty with Brees. And then Tyler Shuck is there. It might be at the point where would just go Shuck to have a third QB. He could easily start all 17 games, I think. Braylon Allen does go. Sorry for all this haphazard scrolling. I think Shuck probably will be a target for me. And then I think this, okay, it is me. I mean, I certainly don't like it. Shuck will happen. I think I do want to have a little safety net. Shuck is going to happen. And then maybe does that mean Devin Neal is happening? Shuck is going to happen. Let's find out what we can about Devin Neal. Few would have found it. Okay, sixth round value. I'm betting kind of against Kamara. I do need some running backs. Let's do it. Let's go Shuck and Devin Neal. Devin Neal, come on down. I don't think I could have confidently told you who Devin Neal was coming into this draft or even 5 minutes ago. I've seen his name before, but I would not have known like what team he played for or what position he played. But hey, we've got our third QB. We've got a little correlation there. And now let's take an overall look again. Rocking the 3-4-6-3. So I'm certainly not going to take any more quarterbacks and probably won't take any more tight ends. So now is probably the time to get some wide receivers going. And then running back, I feel good about some darts being available near the end. So we'll go back to the draft board quickly. Let's see what's happening. Still 20 picks away, but this time in the draft, these picks come around pretty quickly. Especially, I think I saw a few people on auto draft. For instance, maybe this Tyler Lockett pick is an auto draft. I don't know. Oh, here's where you see who's on auto draft. We got the Gooch on auto draft. Oh, you can see it up here as well. Okay, it's only the Gooch. And he's rocking the 2-6-4-3. Not advisable. Especially when one of those four wide receivers is DeAndre. Like you just need CD, McLaurin, and JMO to smash week in and week out. So I feel at least better than that team, all due respect. And now we definitely want to shore up some, well, wide receiver, I would say. Roshan, though, is compelling to me. Um, how about Will Shipley? I could see. I was listening again. I think he came up on either Market Monday or JJ Zacharyson. I'm a big fan of. Uh, one of the two of them was talking about him today to like squarely date this podcast, or not even podcast, but stream. So we're just going running back and wide receiver from here, and I think the priority is going to be wide receiver. Pat Bryant's interesting. Jalen Royals is interesting. I don't think Jalen Coker's that interesting currently. Dontavian Wicks, the ball knowingest pick of 2024, certainly had a healthy platter of him. And I mean, that guy gets open. The problem is he can't catch a football at a professional level. Nick Westbrook-Akine, potentially interesting. He came on strong at the end of last season. Let's mouse our way over to the running backs and stay mindful. Oh, we're coming up very quickly. I mean, Roshan and Shipley, I don't think would be the craziest thing in the world. They're both there. They're both actually a little past ADP, and I'm still all right with some of these. Yeah, I kind of wanted. I got to take at least one wide receiver here, I think. But I'm going to be starting with. Mm, let's see. Philadelphia has a little correlation. Chicago, not a ton, but I do feel the best. I'm going to take Roshan. I don't know if I took him or timed out. And then I really want another wide receiver before we get into the mega depths here. I think I'm gonna. I mean, is it really gonna be? Oh, I mean, why not? I guess throw a little dart at a rookie who plays with Mahomes. Just structurally, I don't think I could look myself in the mirror if I went into the last couple picks with only six wide receivers. So we got the 3-5-7-3. I think we're probably looking at 3-6-8-3. Just to scroll around a bit. Sorry to everyone out there who's like nauseated by it. And I will again attempt to hear a woo. Speaking of nauseating, probably don't jokingly move your camera around in hilarious circles, Colin. Currently rocking what did I say? We're currently rocking the 3-5-7-3, probably aiming for one more running back and one more wide receiver. And we're gonna have a little while before our pick, but our picks. Let's see. I don't want another quarterback. Obviously, I mean, if Shipley somehow makes it back, that'd be good. You certainly don't have to talk me into Phil Maffa ever. I'm I'm like actively trying not to take him so much because I already know the guy for me last year was Will Shipley, where not knowing anything about these late round picks, I was constantly just taking Will Shipley and everything. Manungai I wound up with as my 20th rounder last time. Actually, am I really going to take gross Miles Sanders instead of sexy Phil Maffa? No. But I thought about it. I got to speak up. Stop doing. Ooh, maybe. Let's see. We're still a ways away. But if we can somehow double tap like Jalen Tolbert and Phil Maffa, that might be. No, there he goes. What's the deal? I don't even know what the deal is with Amari Cooper this year. Is that worth a stab? I don't know. I'm not informed enough. Do we have any? I mean, Luke McCaffrey maybe with a little Washington, maybe a little. Well, who's L. Wester? Let's find out. LeJounte Wester, FAU. Big hill to climb to seeing playing time. Well, when you got to overtake Rashad Bateman, good luck, buddy. And I say that somewhat sarcastically, but I am a lifelong Rashad Bateman drafter, and that was another one that worked out really well. And I got super lucky last year to have him kind of bail me out in the semis, or maybe many of the weeks along the way. So put some respect on Rashad Bateman's name. Let that be a lesson. I'll move my camera for the 80th time, just so we can quickly roll back through. I know I'm taking at least one of these wide receivers. I mean, I guess I'm taking. This is Josh Reynolds. I didn't even know he was on the Jets, but I will take him just as a Justin Fields pair. Oh my God, it's me. It's thankfully I was marginally ready for that, and now it's me again. What am I looking at? I'm at 3583. Go either way. Players. I don't want to time this out. Let's just go to wide receiver. And I guess just for the sake of correlation, I'll default onto we'll take a little Luke McCaffrey. And maybe he proves to be a second year breakout. So that is the end of my draft picks. Wound up on 3593. I really don't know that this is how I would have liked to do a five running back build. This is a really optimistic five running back build. Roshan Devin Neal, I want to say is his name. What was his name? Devin Neal. Okay. Jaden Blue. And then I really need Brian Robinson to be somebody this year. And Derrick Henry, I feel all right about, to say the least. Quarterback room, we wound up with Jaden, Justin Fields, Tyler Shuck, and then wide receivers, Nico, Garrett Wilson, Debo, Jerry Judy, Diggs, Luther Burden, and then a few dart throws at the end that definitely at least one of those should have been a running back. But another 112 in the books. Let's see if we find any nuggets down here that people are knowing about that I don't know about yet. But anyway, as usual, I don't love this team by any means. I have yet to really love any of my teams, but we found some correlation. We found really what I'm in pain looking at these last three all being wide receivers, knowing I wound up with a 3593 instead of 368. But there are worse fates in life, and it's NFL best ball. Anything could happen. Just run hot, just play bad and get there is the tried and true. Let's, I guess, wrap up by just looking up at the top and seeing if anyone's doing anything cool. Looks mostly, I got a 2-5-10, a 10 wide receiver build. Two QBs, you got Mahomes and Herbert, fair enough. I mean, I think this is a pretty reasonable 2-5-10 if you're going to take 10, but you're going to need some heat from a lot of these wide receivers. And then, we got a 4 QB team. All right. But it's best. I mean, we're still so early into even knowing anything about best ball that I'm really reluctant, especially after putting together a team like this, to pass too much judgment. But just as a quick refresher, here is me on the far right, what those early picks looked like. Feel okay about it. I mean, I've certainly had drafts that made me happier in years past, but early in the 2024 season, I don't think it's worth beating myself or yourself up about any drafts that don't come together and magically piece all this beautiful web of correlation in with each other. Just learning the board. It's a $3 draft. Learning the YouTube technology, learning how to move my camera around all over the place in a non-annoying way. A lot of fun though, as usual. Thanks for anyone who made it this far, and we'll hopefully be back pretty soon. All right. Good luck out there and take care.